Hello there folks, it is TIGA Gaming and welcome back to the Tour de France 2021 playthrough with the Ineos Grenadiers. Today it is time for the next instalment of the series with stage number 12, 13 and 14. The reason why we're playing so many in today's video is that the first two stages are pretty irrelevant to us, both of those being flat stages, and seeing as we're not one of the sprinters teams, they prove days that we just sit in the peloton, so we won't be covering those too much. And then we have stage number 14, which is a hilly stage, but not a mountainous stage, so somewhere in the middle. So in a move against promotion and watch time and all that, he's probably not going to be the most excited today, but you never know, there could be a shock. But if we just quickly look back to the previous stage, stage number 11. What a stage it was. Particularly good day for Bernal, who managed to win the stage from Roglic. Adam Yates finished third. It was a really good day for our guys. We had 5 of our men in the top 12, and 7 of them all within that 20-second barrier. But we don't have the yellow jersey. Bernal's compatriot, Higuita, as a result, I think, of the 8th or 9th stage, where there was an absolutely whopping breakaway of half an hour. Go and watch that video if you haven't done already. But there was a massive breakaway, and Higuita, even after that stage, has still got a lead of 7.5 minutes. Bernal did gain on Higuita in that last stage, but Higuita was still fairly competitive. Just waiting for the previous stage to load in terms of the results. But Higuita was probably only about 2 minutes behind, which was crazy, really. You can see Higuita here, 2 minutes 55 behind. So it was a big gain for what it was, but Higuita's still 7 minutes and 24 seconds ahead. There are a lot of big mountain stages to come, but you don't know how good he's going to be. You really don't. So we could see a shock. But crucially, if we look at the two main protagonists, Pogačar and Roglic, we're 3.5 minutes ahead of Pogačar and 4.5 minutes ahead of Roglic. We've got Yates in 11th place, but Bernal is our main man. We haven't really got anybody to help him. So that could be a risk if it goes wrong for Bernal. But fingers crossed, it doesn't. He holds the best climber classification jersey as well, the polka dot jersey, with 53 points in the climbers classification. And you can see we have got Kwiatkowski and Yates both in there for the points classification, but I think Van der Poel has got that one pretty much sorted out. So first off today, we've got stage number 12. It is pretty much a flat stage, as you can see. 2 small climbs and 2 sprints, so no point going in the breakaway at all today. And then as you can see, stage number 13 is fairly similar. So we'll be covering those maybe the final sprints, but won't be recovering too much at all. Just probably a highlights package, and then most of our focus will be on stage number 14. Well, I don't see any harm in this. We're going to go for the first intermediate sprint of the day. With Adam Yates, looks in good condition. Why not? Let's see if we can get it. Still a long way back. If we can start to gain on Van der Poel, then brilliant. I think we might struggle. He's got a big lead. I think it might well stay like that. Try and take the wheel of Costa. Seems to be in a good position on the outside there. Not much of a blockade. But we'll just increase the pace a little bit now and we'll go for it. So we've gone early. Have we gone a little bit too early? We'll soon find out. Yates isn't the best sprinter in the world. Just pick up the pace. That's a good 10 points for Adam Yates. It's actually 11. We'll take that. Where did Van der Poel finish? We didn't get many points. That's only a bit of encouragement. Van der Poel in 11th. So we gained 6 points. That's not too bad at all. Can't complain at that. Those guys ahead are starting to pull away slightly, but they'll lose their momentum. You can see we've got a feed zone coming up soon. And then the final sprint of the day. So, last sprint of the daytime. We're going to take the wheel of Kwiatkowski here, who hopefully is going to help us out. Got 2Ks to go, and with about 1 kilometre to go, we'll get him to attack. And hopefully we can do something here. Get points for a couple of our guys. Okay, so we'll tell Kwiatkowski to attack. And we'll just follow him. Got 1 kilometre to go. Oh, I think Yates is going to struggle at this pace. No, it hasn't worked at all. Has not worked at all. Unfortunately, in the end there. Well, that didn't work at all. So, there was a little bit of a chance for us going for the green jersey. We're just looking at really one last hop. But I noticed Van der Poel gained a little bit more on us there. So, it's just using our energy for needless uses, really. So, we probably will cover the end of the next stage, but yeah, the main feature event will be coming up pretty shortly. So the next stage is done. We've gained a few good points with Kwiatkowski. We did pretty well in that stage, but we're still 111 points behind Van der Poel, so that is pretty much it for the points classification. I think it's going to be either Van der Poel or Bennett that wins that one. Bennett did win today's stage. So we now focus on the main events today. Don't worry, it's not going to be such a highlights package as that was, even though there was a couple of sprints and that was it. That's all we're bothered about in the flat stages. They're a good chance for us to recover. Make sure that we've got our guys being protected, our main guys, Bernal, Yates, Gegenhardt, Thomas and Kwiatkowski. But a bit of a hilly stage today. Again, not expecting too much, but you never know. There could be a chance. You just never know. You can see that it's likely to be punchers that win this. Let's see, yeah, 1 star. So, looks like Kwiatkowski is probably the favourite for us to win this one. But it's going to be an interesting stage. We've got a little bit more time to pay, a little bit more attention to it, given that it's going to be the only stage that we really focus on today. So I'll be with you at the start in just a second. So stage 14 today is fairly hilly. There's a couple of second-class climbs, so it could be interesting. There could be a potential for a little bit of a shock. I'm not expecting it, with it only being a 1-star stage, but I guess you never know. But for the first time in a long time, we are going to partake in a breakaway today. And that breakaway is going to be with Kwiatkowski. Just going to get those little bits of protection in place, just to make sure our main men are covered. And we're going to go in the breakaway with Kwiatkowski, just to see what we can do, really. I don't think it's too much of a risk. Obviously, we know we've got a mountainous stage tomorrow, but we should have the cover with Thomas, Gegenhardt there, so I don't think it should be much of an issue. We're just trying to get through this group. That's the main problem with getting with a breakaway, unless you're going with one of your main guys that are in the front of the peloton at the start, and all this time that we're just trying to push through, the guys at the front are gaining valuable time, which is, it's really frustrating, to be honest. Out of the way. Breakaway might be over for us here already. It's frustrating, this. I think we can finally start to push our way through. Oh, for Christ's sake. Right, there we go. Right, let's go in this breakaway. Let's see if we can catch up. I'm not going to waste any time just by showing these dull bits. But I'll let you guys know if we manage to get in a bit of a breakaway. Well, unfortunately, it hasn't worked for us to get in that breakaway, as you might well know. It's just we picked the wrong ones to go in. We went a couple of times with Kwiatkowski. Just couldn't afford to lose that energy of just keep pushing for no reason and for no time gain. So we haven't got in the breakaway in the end. All of our guys in this peloton group. Vellens, who's third in the general classification, is in that breakaway, so that's an interesting one. I can't see him winning by minutes and minutes today, but it would have been a good chance potentially to get some points for the polka dot and the green jersey. But we'll see. I don't think it's going to be too massive today, but I guess you never know. Well, we're going to try something on this climb. Why not at the end of the day? With Kwiatkowski, just to try and break things up a little bit. We're going to go for a little bit of an attack with Kwiatkowski in this climb. It doesn't seem anybody else going to follow us. This might be our way of getting back to this breakaway with Kwiatkowski. We were trying to bring somebody with us, but we couldn't get anybody to us in time, unfortunately. But it is just increasing the pace of the peloton. It's a tough climb, this, so, you know, there might be a few at the back that start to struggle. And we've got a second-class climb after this as well, so the aim is to just try and break up the peloton slightly and make what might be, in some terms, an uninteresting stage to something that might be interesting. I don't know, but looks like that attack might be for nothing in terms of catching up to the breakaway, but it has increased the pace of the peloton, I would say. I'm fairly confident of that. Yeah, it's not going to be too interesting this stage. Maybe until the end. It might be one for the punchers. Who knows, maybe Bernal can gain a little bit of time. But let's just see. Well, we're going to try and shake things up here on this climb. Why not? Looks like a lot of the teams are going to start to be aggressive anyway. But on this very taxing section, we're looking for Kwiatkowski to put an attack in. And Bernal's going to follow him. Why not? Let's see whether we can develop a chance here. Right up against the rail. That's not going to help Bernal. Might have to push on ourselves here. That's not ideal. We push our way through. Kwiatkowski's okay. We've got plenty of energy. Trying to make sure Kwiatkowski doesn't use it all. Kwiatkowski a little bit ahead of us. Just wanting to push to gain any time we can with Bernal. think Kwiatkowski's probably pushed enough now. It's the final climb of the day, is this? Well, there might be a chance of sprint victory, but you know, it's going to be tough. A lot of our guys starting to struggle with the pace, but I think that... Can't see it being too much of an issue. Right, we'll take our feed now with Bernal. I think we can take it with the rest of the guys. Kwiatkowski, Dennis, Castro, Viejo and Ganna. We'll just try and put the pace in. Keep it going. With Bernal, why not? We'll see if we can gain some time here. It's not going to be any hurt. It's not going to be a particularly tricky end to this stage now, you wouldn't have thought. But you know what? Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can gain a couple of seconds. As you can see, that peloton getting ever smaller. I don't know whether Kwiatkowski is coming to protect us. There he is. Okay, just pursue, just come without limit, because, you know, don't want him to burn out before the end. All the main guys are in here. Geraint Thomas here as well. 2Ks before we get to the summit. And an 8-second time bonus. So we'll try and take that. That's what's most appealing about this climb. Just checking, there's a bit of a descent after this. So quite a nice time gap for us to have. Geraint Thomas, I wouldn't say he's been dropped. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. But we've got Pogačar and a Philippe here. We'd like to have Kwiatkowski, if he can ride a little bit harder, try and catch back up, take those matters into our own hands rather than encouraging the issue. Try not to use all that feed up. Feel like we're probably better controlling this ourselves, but there is just 0.4 of a kilometre to go, so we want to make sure that Bernal does win this. Power to the end. Yeah, he's going to be absolutely fine at that. 8-second time gap, that's going to be big. That's going to be good for us. And we'll just try to get back caught up. I mean, I think we've got this decline now, so it shouldn't be much of an issue. We'll just go on board with Bernal, try and push as much as possible coming down here, and try and gain some valuable seconds. So we're a few kilometres after the climb. You can see there's a large group of us here. Well, when I say large, there's 8 of us. A lot of the main contenders. We've got Kwiatkowski to help us out. Unfortunately, we fell a little bit too far behind now to follow him. But we've got this descent. It'd be a good idea just to put the aerodynamic position on to gain as much. You'll have trouble seeing it through to the end. What do you mean? I'm guessing that means the break that we've got here, which is no problem. If there's 30 odd of us, that's no issue. Just wants to force the issue, try and break up the peloton. The odd competitor might well be out. That's all we can do today. It's not the most hillier stages. Higuita is in that main group, so proving to be a staunch competitor as usual, which is a bit of a surprise. Now we've got a whole bunch of blue feed left, so I think we're going to take Kwiatkowski's at this point, as well as Yates, Geraint Thomas. We can focus on Bernal on board. And just get him to follow Kwiatkowski at the moment. We are set for a sprint finish, so I don't think we're necessarily going to try and win the stage. Just try and take... Well, you know, there's a few guys trying to gain a few seconds, but nobody we're too concerned about. We've got that 8-second gap, and hopefully we can keep that on some of the leaders, so I've got no issue with that. And I think we go to Adam Yates and try and push him for a victory on the sprint. I mean, is Van Aert here? Van der Poel, sorry. Let's just have a quick look. Points classification. Yeah, Van der Poel is here. So, you know, it doesn't seem too appealing to go for this. It is going to end in what looks like a sprint finish. But, yeah, I don't really see the point of going for this too much. So we'll just go back to Bernal. Make sure we don't lose any real time. We're going to turn Yates' attention now just to be a teammate, I think, rather than a leader of that classification. It looks like Van der Poel has got a pretty good hold on that. We're just getting Kwiatkowski's wind with Bernal. But it's been a good day for us. You know, we've done all we could, really. We've got that 8-second gap at the top of the climb. That's really all we could have asked. Kwiatkowski, Thomas, Yates and Bernal on this main group. Dennis a little bit further behind. But just one of those days where it has rocked the peloton slightly, but not in a massive sense. I guess Kwiatkowski's more than, you know, further ahead. Is it Kwiatkowski we go for it with? Let's see. Roglič's going for it. Don't think it's going to be too much of an issue, though. You know, we can afford to lose a couple of seconds. Now need to burn too much energy with Yates. But with Kwiatkowski, let's see if we can go and win the stage. It's going to be tricky with this amount of energy. Just all about the sprint. Whether we can take on Van der Poel and beat him. It's going to be tight. Don't think we're going to do it. No. Oh, we beat Van der Poel. I'll take that. Van Aert wins the stage. Philippe finishes second. I wonder if Kwiatkowski got a podium. But a relatively, as I predicted, a video where there's not too much going on. I know that it's tough to rival the previous ones with the excellence of Bernal, but it was a good day. You know, we gained a few seconds at the top of the climb with Bernal, and we're just staying in it at the moment. The most important thing is that we're not caught out. But I think tomorrow is a mountain stage, so that will be a big day. And of course, that video will be coming to you guys on Thursday. But I'll just cut now to the standings so we can see where we are at the end of today's episode. So Kwiatkowski got himself in third. That's good stuff to see. As you can see, Bernal remaining on the same seconds. We've gained a few more valuable seconds on Roglič, which is good. And we'll take a look at that in just a second. Yep, Bernal gained a few seconds on Pogačar and on Roglič. You can see Wellens has dropped back into 6th place. But it's good stuff. Not really much of a change from the start. Bernal gains a few more points. Kwiatkowski still 100 odd points behind Van der Poel, so I can't see us really going for that now. But tomorrow's stage is going to be the important one, and tomorrow's stage will be broadcast on Thursday. Another mountain stage. Another day for Bernal to shine. It's a real tough segment now. I think I'm right in saying there are 3 mountain stages in 4 days, with a rest day potentially in between. This is going to be tough. 3 first-class climbs, a second-class climb thrown in there as well. We're going to have to be on our A game for this. Yeah, we've got a rest day after this, so we can give it all of our best. Today, we stage number 15, then we've got another mountain stage, another one, and then another one. So it's actually 4 in 4 days, and that is really going to decide where the Tour de France goes. So can Higuita keep up? I think at the moment, unless we face a disaster, presuming as well that Higuita does not keep up, we should have the yellow jersey, but you simply never know. So it's well worth sticking around for those episodes. So we'll have this stage number 15 on Thursday, stage number 16 on Saturday, and then stage number 17 on Sunday, and stage number 18 a week today. And then we'll do all I think the final 3 stages in one episode. But so that's something to look forward to, most certainly. Going to be some tricky stages ahead, but hopefully we can keep it together with Bernal. If you enjoyed that, folks, make sure to leave a thumbs up down below, comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for regular Tour de France 2021 content. Thank you very much for your company, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye for now.